Hey, Alan, how are you?
Robert, good. How are you?
So tell us a little bit about yourself and like how you came to FasterEFT, and a little bit about yourself.
Oh boy. Well, I came into FasterEFT. I found your videos. I think it was back in 2008, 2009, and I had been studying EFT, NLP, and hypnosis, and decided I was going to become an EFT practitioner. And I came across one of your videos, and I saw it, and I thought, wow, what is this? What is this all about? What's he doing? And I saw immediately that you were combining a lot of the things that I had studied. So it was like my mind was sort of set up to really absorb what you were doing, and I saw it right away. And the cool thing was that I had a friend who I was going to tap on that night, and when I saw your video, I watched it. I must have watched it like 5 or 6 times. And that night I sat with her, heard her story, and tapped on her exactly the way I saw you tap on her in the video, and we got really fast, quick changes. And so after that point I started tapping on myself. I started doing more research. Shortly after that I got your DVDs and just soaked it up, and I really haven't looked back since.
So here it is, you're coming from EFT, but why FasterEFT? Is it just because it's fast?
No. Well, in the beginning, I liked, I liked that you were incorporating guided imagery. I liked that you were incorporating language. I liked that there was more tools in the tool belt. It was combining these things, and that really intrigued me. And then as I further studied it, the belief system, understanding where our problems come from, the model, the structure of problems, all of those things just made so much sense. And the more I absorbed it, the more I studied it, the more I was able to help more people and myself. And I think that was a big, big reason to continue my study and continue on with the process. And then later it became more about, I remember the first time I saw one of the Facebook groups start, I thought, oh wow, there's a community, really a community form, because I'd been sort of on my own. I felt like a lone ranger out in LA, working on my own, doing my own thing, doing Skype sessions, phone sessions, just trying to find my way. And then I found this community that was being built around FasterEFT, and I thought, oh my gosh, I got to jump on this train. I gotta meet some of these people. And it wasn't too long after that, actually, that Eric Robbins went to his first training, and I found out that he was practically down the street from me. And so that's where this whole train really got moving for me personally. And to be in this situation, to be around people that take this work as seriously as I do, who have been working on themselves. And not only that, but when they get together, they help each other. There is such a community of people that are really, everybody wants everybody to succeed in this and be the best practitioner they can. Mm-hmm. That is so encouraging, and I don't know where else you would find that, really.
So it's the community, it's the skills, it's the speed, sure, the NLP, yes, everything mixed together.
Yes.
Yeah. And
it's the best of the best. I mean, you're taking all the things that work and combining it into a very flexible thinking system. Mm-hmm. Something that when you sit down in front of a client, no matter what they throw at you, you've got something. You've got something there.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, really.
Absolutely.
Because, every person's different, mm-hmm, and they think differently and they process differently. And so if you're trained in a way that you understand what's going on, mm-hmm, how to adjust it, how to address it, and also how to make the adjustments, mm-hmm, I think you could be a pretty good practitioner.
I think so. And I think one of the challenges a lot of other modalities have, in my opinion, is that they put a sort of frame around it. They put a box. They put a very strict protocol on it. And the beauty of FasterEFT is it's wide open. Mm-hmm. It's wide open, and you can really.
Yeah. Well, I think there is a framework, but it's the framework of belief and structure.
Yes.
And then
framework of how the client is doing it.
Exactly.
That belief system is very important. Yeah. Once you operate off of that belief system, you can kind of do.
You can make up stuff at the spur of the moment. It'll work.
Absolutely.
So so that's good.
And I think the more you attend seminars, the more you attend trainings, the more you absorb yourself in this work, the more you integrate that belief system, which I believe is just truth. I mean, that's truth.
Definitely.
Universally. Yeah.
So now here you are in Habilitat. You're here, you're learning the protocol on addiction. So how's that?
It's been outstanding. I mean, one of the first things we did when we got together and kind of had a round table, and we talked about our game plan and the addiction protocol. I really, really enjoyed that process because it kind of, I remember one part in the training, it just kind of clicked, and I said, all right, I understand, I know what we're doing. And I think that, you know, when I first saw your video 4 years ago, when your first Habilitat video, when you were here by yourself, I thought, that's interesting. That's, you know, where is this going to go? This could be a game changer.
Yeah.
I didn't really know any background about Habilitat, but I knew FasterEFT, of course, and I thought this could be really, really interesting. And talking to some of the residents that have been here for 6 months, a year, 2 years, and hearing how they've improved, and not only that, but how the addiction protocol model has improved. You know, and I think that what I'm seeing is these residents that have been here, that have had the benefit of being in Habilitat, and then having the benefit of being worked on. The results have been amazing, outstanding. I mean, I've had the benefit of working with people that are very new in the program and have not been tapped on, and then I've worked on people that have been tapped on in, you know, this trip 6 months, a year ago, and I see the sort of path they've taken and the road they've taken and the journey, and it's just been very, very encouraging. And you know, I said this earlier, I just feel like Habilitat, you know, their program here and FasterEFT it's really a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah. I think one of the guys who I've talked with the other day, who's been through program after program after program after program, and one of the things he said, what you're doing, no one else does. No one else knows how to go in and do what we're doing. And there's I hadn't seen anybody else. No other healing process out there, no other technique that I have seen personally on YouTube. And these guys who've been through program after program, no one is actually doing what FasterEFT is doing.
Yeah, as in they've gone to different rehabs, they've gone to different, you know, medical programs, they've gone through all these different things.
Hundreds of $1,000 programs.
Yeah. And there's no doubt that the results we're getting here, I mean, are staggering.
Yeah.
People that are walking in, literally, you know, looking at, you know, paraphernalia and just freaking out, feeling the feeling.
Sweating.
Sweating. You can see it in their face. You can physically see them change, and then within 2-hour session, nothing.
Yeah.
And 6 months later, a year later, still
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is really good. And there was someone who graduated from the program, still free, 7 years later. You know, he comes to visit and he says, "What is this FasterEFT?" You know, I said, "Well, it's a thinking process, and we actually go in and change the addiction." And I said, "Have a seat." He actually sat right here, and I said, "Close your eyes and go back. When you used to use drugs, go back to one of those times when you used drugs, and can you find that high? 0 to 10, it was a 7. Wow. And so he hadn't used in 7 years. And then I said, "What I want you to do is pretend like your drug's here, and I want you to go ahead and do all the physical things that you'd do to get a hit." And he just rolled out, pulled that dollar up, rolled it up, and all of a sudden, it went to 10, like that.
Yeah. And it was second nature to him.
Yeah. The trance was still there. And so then I worked with him. 15 minutes later, he was gone. He couldn't make it come back. And that's been free for 7, 8 years. So what we're doing is we're going into the deep unconscious mind and helping them to free themselves from the program.
Absolutely.
And no one else does that.
No one else does that. No one addresses that.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing, too, because it's so present. It's so alive. It's so, before we work on them, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. That
so here you are, you've interacted and worked with, this is your first time, worked with people. What's some of the stories that you hear, without names, what kind of stories you hear?
My first time working at Habilitat, it's been really interesting. You know, of course, training-wise, when you're sitting in front of a resident, you're going to hear some crazy stuff, and I've heard some crazy stuff. And I heard you ask that question to somebody before, and I actually had to think, because it's a movie. When I'm sitting there working with a client or a resident, it's just a story. It's just what they're doing in their mind, how they're recreating it. But there's been some pretty crazy stories. Witnessing people getting shot right in front of their face, you know, bullets splattering out brains, car accidents, people seeing dead bodies, bag of skin holding the bones together, and of course stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from their loved ones. Really, really intense stuff. And you know, we work on it, we clean it up, and we change it, and we flip it. And they realize that, you know, whatever it was they were running from, they don't have to run anymore.
Yeah. And
they can change it. And it's been you know, it's been really, it's touched my heart. Every single person I've worked with here has been amazing, amazing. I mean, their souls, their spirits, you know, it's like they want, and I give Habilitat a lot of credit there. You know, they are really changing how these people view themselves. And that's why I think this is such a powerful combination with FasterEFT and Habilitat.
Yeah.
To see where they're going, and to see, and another interesting thing I see with the people that we're following up with is that they've worked on the addiction, and now they say, look, I know I've got these other problems now. Now I know I've got guilt, shame, the things I did, the stealing, the you know, whatever, the people I hurt.
Yeah.
And so now they're like, I need to clean that up.
Yeah.
And so they're coming to see us because they understand now that process. They understand that they're doing it to them.
Yeah.
And the fact that people are letting us know that they're tapping now on their own, and we're doing a lot on this trip, encouraging them to tap on themselves in the session, towards the end of the session, to really get the feel for it. And I've encouraged others that, you know, hey, if your brother or sister is having a bad day, encourage them to tap. Share this knowledge.
Yeah.
It's very powerful.
Definitely, definitely. So there's some stories that really touched you, so people here.
Big time. Yeah, there's a young lady who, you know, just the addiction was still a little alive in her, and so we worked on that big time. And then it was just stories of people that she hurt. You know, some of the traumatic memories. She was the one that saw the shooting. Someone right next to her in a car, you know, just got brains blown out right in front of her, and the story of, you know, seeing her friends OD, a pregnant mother lying on the ground, overdosed. You know, really powerful stuff, and to help them clean that up, you know, and then you know, when it's all said and done, you've cleaned out a bunch of memories, and they're smiling and they're laughing. You just want to, you know, you want to cuddle them like little babies sometimes. You know, it's powerful.
Amazing changes,
Very,
isn't
very
it?
powerful. Amazing changes.
Yeah, so that's good. Pretty exciting, really.
Very exciting. I can't, you know, it's amazing to think. I think about, like I said earlier, when I first saw your video, I thought, okay, this is cool. You know, your first visit to Habilitat, I thought, man, that's something I want to do, and it's always been on my radar. And I think that, you know, call it divine timing, whatever you want to call it, but the fact that I'm here now, I think that I'm more prepared as a practitioner. I think that I'm more prepared as a human being because of all the work I've done on myself and with other practitioners getting, you know, worked on. I think that has really prepped me to get the most out of this experience now, and now I just can't wait to come back. I can't wait to come back and see the people that we've worked on. I can't wait to see new residents and continue this process and make FasterEFT an instrumental part of Habilitat. You know, I give a lot of credit to Jeff because this program, Habilitat, is amazing. It's got almost everything in itself. And then FasterEFT came along, and I think Jeff recognized that, and he knows he knows this is an amazing community model of therapy, and that they've developed. But he also knows that, you know, 50%, 60% is not good enough as far as people, you know, staying clean outside of this after 5 years. So he is always looking for ways to improve it, always looking for things to bring in, and he doesn't bring things in very often.
I think we're the only one in the last 44 years.
44 years.
And we're the only group
that have been able to step in here and offer our services. I mean, that says a lot right there.
Yeah, Jeff personally has been tapped on by me, and Deirdre Maggar helped change the needle addiction, the needle rig,
itself, which is like, you know, you tapped on them, and then as we developed the addiction protocol,
cleaned it up.
Told the story of, you know, you were giving a talk saying, okay, how do we improve this? How do we improve this? You know, it's like if we pull up the needle, and you saw Jeff's reaction, And that's when it clicked for you.
Said he's alive. We got to get
it's
that.
alive and well in there.
Yeah.
And so that's when it clicked. You got to go in there and really clean it out.
So that's when we started bringing in actually
the props,
the fake drugs.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it triggers big time.
Yeah.
So then we go and clean that up. So yeah, so it's very powerful. So it's been a lot of hours, a lot of work.
Yes, it has.
A lot of sessions.
Yeah. It's kind of, a lot of sessions. As we film this right now, we're halfway through, a little over halfway through, I guess. And but I can't wait to get back into it. I can't wait to see my next client, and I can't wait to work. And that was my attitude going in here. I was like, I told Deirdre, I just want to sink my teeth into this. I just want to get in there. And it was crazy. After the first 3 sessions, I was like, finally, I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this. It's it's happening, and boy, is it happening. And then to do all the sessions and to see all the changes and.
So you're doing FasterEFT as well at home.
Oh,
you
yeah.
have your own private practice,
Yes.
and so when you say FasterEFT, what do you have to say about FasterEFT itself?
What do I have to say about it? It's literally been a game changer for me, for my life. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it because I've had a lot of personal issues like everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of social anxiety, a lot of just a lot of issues. I mean, I don't think I could do something like this. There was a time when I couldn't even sit like this in front of a camera. And the one constant in my life, I was seeking answers, looking for ways to improve myself, and I knew I was bigger. There was something in me that was bigger than what I was showing to people and what I was experiencing. And when I finally found you and FasterEFT, like I said, I always said it resonated, and I picked up on it. I applied it. I used it. I started using it right away. And occasionally I would veer off and try different things, but I would always come back to FasterEFT. And I'm lucky I have a very supportive girlfriend who encouraged me and really told me, you got to keep doing this, get out there, keep doing it. She taps, it's changed her life. It's changed our relationship. It's helped us grow as a couple, and I mean, the things that I've done since then, even just going out to Oklahoma City and coming out to here, of course, Habilitat, are things that I don't know if I would have done in the past, But there's a congruency in this work. I think that when you really apply it and you really use it, it will take you places where you never dreamed you could go.
Definitely.
That's my experience.
So FasterEFT changed your life?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good.
Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah.
It totally changed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I use it. I don't know if you see me use it.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
All the time. Well, good job. Yeah. So that's good.
What about you? What's your experience?
With what? Here?
Habilitat this time around.
Well, the nice thing about being here is, I worked a hard place. I've come here by myself, working hours all by myself, and of course, originally coming here, I wanted to figure out. I've been doing weight loss seminars for years, which is an addiction as well.
Yeah.
Food is, and so then I thought, I got an idea, but I wanted to know. So I did, session after session, trying to figure out the structure of the mind of the addicted, why they're addicted, what drives the addiction, and coming, I think 3 or 4 times by myself, maybe more, and then because when I do the weight loss seminars, we actually use real Coca-Cola, real cake, real cheese, but we're here in a drug place, and then I always had them do it in their mind, and then when we're talking the event with Jeff, where I said, if we had some fake drugs, fake stuff, because that would really trigger, and then that's when my idea said, well, why don't we just have, and then we went down, we bought the stuff that makes it look like Jeff knows what to buy, and so then we took the game a little bit higher.
Yep.
And then,
that was a game changer right there.
Yeah. The first group I brought to Habilitat to help me, they did the best they could. Most of them were level 2s, and they weren't not emotionally, skillfully ready. So then I thought, I learned from that experience. So now I'm only picking at least level 3 plus. And then it made a big difference with the quality of work that we're doing. Granted, you know, we all have problems, and they do bring some because they don't think they're good enough, whatever it is, and we just address that as well. But it has made a big game changer when we have Deirdre, who's been here 2 or 3 times, and some of the other guys have been here several times and helped me train you guys hands on hand, cross-firing and educating you and showing you the ropes, which makes it a whole lot easier because I can only be in one place at one time. And then, of course, documenting all the work that we do. And yeah, so it's been really, really good. It's been very nice. And, you know, we have, you know, like Kim Jewell has been helping me organize all this is really a blessing as well. And so it's just amazing. And it's really very fulfilling. We bring the guys in, we worked on, and testing, and the test is clean, you know, because we do get the criticism of other people, but do you check them 6 months later? Is there any follow-ups?
We've blown that out of the water.
And I've always had that, but I never really focused on what I've already done in the past because I know it's done. So then I thought, well, okay, for you guys who are the skeptic or just want proof, then we started actually doing it this time. So we'll just come on in. Because the guys say, hey, I don't have a problem anymore, it's gone.
I had one client come in and say, I'm not even sure why I'm here, you know, I don't feel the addiction, I don't think I'm addicted anymore, you know, I got tapped on and I feel great. And we said, okay, well, let's just do a session. And we ended up cleaning up big, powerful family memories, things that eventually could have been something that he wanted to run from. Maybe it wouldn't have been drugs or whatever the drug was, but maybe it would have been food, maybe it would have been sex, maybe it would have been whatever.
So addressing the whole dynamic system. Yeah, very good.
And I'd like to say thanks too to everybody that's pitched in. Kim did a great job, like you said, really organizing things. You know, her experience here has been really invaluable, and I think that's really important. There's been a structure to it, and then of course the residents here, like I said, have just been outstanding. Their willingness to try new things and to open up and to experiment with this. And then to see the results on the other end, it's been life-changing. So,
yeah, it's been pretty powerful.
Yeah, it really has.
So, all right, good job. Thank you. It's kind of cool.